can hear me. There we go. All right, let's turn this on. All right, we should be okay here. I think I can see everybody. All right. So I hope you guys can hear me. Start waiting for people to get in here. If you guys can hear me, let me know. Just wanted to say hello. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Hey, John, how are you? Chaz? Good to see you here. I'm a little late tonight, so I don't know how many people will watch. I had to go to the gym tonight with my. Hey, buddy. I got my dog here with me. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it. Hey, X, how are you? Loud and clear, right on. Good evening. We'll make this. We're gonna make tonight's somewhat brief. We're gonna talk about it. Talk about stuff from today. Good evening, Omar. How are you? All right. So we'll get started whether people are here or not. And they can play this back for themselves. They can play this back for themselves when they arrive. I have to be slightly make this kind of short tonight, only because after cash market, I did a live stream, or near the end of cash market, I did a live stream, and then I had to go to the gym with my children, so we had to do wall climbing and all this other stuff. I'm kind of worn out. Hey, the King, Paul, how are you? Coding, how are you? All right, people are starting to come in. That's cool. Hey, Ben, you guys all right? I got some great news for you guys. Well, I think I do. I think I do. I think you guys are going to be happy. So we'll talk about it. I'm going to show you guys some stuff that most people probably don't have that I need to show you. But we're going to recap. We're going to recap. Well, today was Thursday, right? So we're going to recap Wednesday. If you guys pour yourselves a drink, or some of you guys I know like water. Devin, how are you? Brent, how are you? Good to see everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. It's funny too, because when I got off the live stream, I was in a Discord and the Bears were going crazy again. And it was all doom and gloom. So I was like, I'm just going to stay off the internet and go take my kids. They were already asking, but I was like, I'm just going to go to the gym with the kids. Drum roll. That's right, Chaz. How are you? John, what do you think with IWM support at 213? Hey, Betty, how are you? You guys, it's kind of funny because we have to go back and look at yesterday's video and see what we're talking about. Wednesday was a dumpster fire for my account. Love great news, better than a kick in the nuts. Yep, I agree. The bourbon is full. I just poured my bourbon. I just poured it right now. I needed one after. There was a long day today. Cheers, Matt. RS, how are you? And so here's the deal. So let's start with Wednesday, okay? I'm going to show you guys a couple things. We'll get into what's going on tomorrow. Well, let's start with tomorrow. That way people can come back. So tomorrow we've got the economic calendar. The only things we've got on Friday, we've got New York Fed President John Williams is interviewed at 8:30 a.m. That's not really a big deal. He's not hawkish or dovish. He's kind of a centrist. He follows what Fed Chair Powell says, what Jay Powell says. Jay Powell. Good morning, Michael. Good morning. Yep, Matt, how are you? Time to earn your eggs. Yeah. So here's the deal. So tomorrow we've got nothing on the menu, right? And we are in OPEX. We know that we've been rebalancing since mid-November. And thank you, Josh. I just poured a whiskey. Cheers to you with your water. I'm going to have a little sip here with you. So when we were talking yesterday in yesterday's live stream, when we were charting out yesterday's live stream, we're going to go through it and look at it again for what we talked about yesterday. Because it was important to today, and it was important to what we discussed last night for what we were looking for in the market today. So what we were looking for in the market today just to start the stream off, is we were looking for no major put hedging. We were looking for expansion of calls, right? We were looking for people to buy calls into January, February, March, that kind of stuff. And we're going to look at some charts here. But I wanted to start with that's what we were looking for today when we opened today. We'll get into what happened at the open today because it'll start to make sense to you. I know that for some of you, you didn't see this coming even though we discussed this, and that's okay. I'm going to make some videos so that you guys can see when I'm talking about stuff that you get a firm grasp of what I'm trying to say to you. I'm going to make some videos about where volatility is above and below you, what it means to have supply for sellers, what it means to have liquidity for buyers that are coming up from below, and try to simplify all that stuff for you. And what we were looking for today, we had a couple things that didn't happen. We did not see expanded hedging. If anyone's telling you that on social media, that is inaccurate. Hi Patrick, how are you? Howdy, sir. I did live up in the mountains in the west, but there was no expansion. The data doesn't support that there was expanded hedging today. I did see some slight hedging that was dated for the end of December on IWM. That's not as much of a cause for concern as much of a pinning action until end of the month for small caps. That could possibly play a role. And it might just play a role in the unwinding of small caps as well, more so than trying to drop the market. It could be. I guess it could be. In some far off, thought think tank, it's possible. But all signs today just pointed towards mean reversion. And it also pointed towards us not getting a bid for an unwind of previous puts and hedges that were put on the market. And that's really what we're looking for. Now, we did see some of it today on specific stocks. And as we move into the weekend, they have to unwind. There's no choice. These puts will end. They're going to expire. Okay, and but we're still looking for the buy-in into the market from now into this weekend, and then furthermore into the 31st. Now, the 31st is known as Bear Christmas, and that's that tax loss harvesting day. That's the last day that you can do it. So you might see some of that leading into maybe Monday or Tuesday due to the expiration dates or the quad witching expirations, when things actually close, real price, that kind of stuff. And you might see some of it with some stocks that they want to sell down into the 31st. So my assumption is here that there are some more small cap stocks that they want to sell down their positions in until the 31st. But I don't think that holds the market back as we move forward. It's that we're actually going to move up. Now, we had that Vanna trade on Friday. We're going to look real quick. I want to talk to you guys about some stuff here. So on Wednesday here, right, we had this big Vanna trade. It was, 100? I think it was 140. The key, though, you have to look at is this was the chart that we had for SPY heading into today and Friday. You should have seen this chart and known that this is the sell the rip. So up here is where volatility is, right? You already saw that we tagged 47.5, right? We tagged or I think I had this at 47.98 or something. But you saw that we tagged it in the morning. You saw right here that we were still in this sell the rip zone. This is the key indicator for you to try to get out of your calls if you had any back here. And then down here you see the buy the dip and the buy the effing dip at the bottom. So my plan today when I walked in today, it was, and I made great money on this play right here. So the key though is this: if you're playing FDs or any short dated calls, you should already know that right away. You should already know that they're only good for the run that you're on. Anyone that wanted to go past this, I even posted about this morning. You're not safe until we're over this volatility area. The same goes for below here as well. You're not safe taking shorts. Any support and resistance, you're really only good for that run. And if you exit positions when you're heading between support and resistance, it's safer for you, even if we go up. I've talked extensively with you guys about letting the banks do the work for you to get you over a major support or a major resistance zone. Last night we knew that we had a huge put wall down here, and we had a huge call wall above, and we wanted this area to expand even higher. It was actually lower. It was was at 4,700 on Wednesday, and it expanded into Thursday to 47.5. So we're making progress, okay? The second thing though is wherever this wall is, wherever it moves to, you still want to be selling at wherever that wall is, okay? You don't want to be holding through this mess that's going on. There will be a pullback. Now today I didn't expect the pullback to be this deep. This was very deep. And I made a mistake because to myself I said, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to sell this open, and I'm going to start to buy the dips with long calls that are 1 to 3 to 4 months out, maybe 6, maybe a couple weeks for the holiday rally. And I didn't actually put anything short term on until we got to right here. I ended up buying this close. I was very scared down here. I didn't expect us to go this deep today, but then I realized I ended up doing a measure to see how far back. Oh nope, hold on. I ended up doing a measure to see how far we came down, and we didn't actually come down that far. Everybody was panicking today. I can understand. I can understand the panic that everyone had, and you can see here that at this top, if we only came back like 60%, and even up here, it wasn't even half, okay? So this move wasn't as nasty as everyone seems to think it is today. I know that bears are gloating. That's all fine and good. But so what I did today was sell this open, and I spent my time trying to buy my longs for this move. If I had known that we were going to come this deep, I would have shorted the market, and I was focused on stocks all day long. I didn't really get too crazy until here is when I was like, ooh, this is really deep. And I got scared down here because this is the bottom. Like this, we shouldn't go any deeper than this unless we see that cascading of hedging, puts upon hedging, or puts upon put hedging, and then we're looking for people selling out of their positions, right? And in that book map from earlier, you could see the buyers stepping in, which they did. They came in and they gobbled up all these sellers. So they're just consuming retail sellers that are panicking, retail bulls that are panicking. So this plan worked for yesterday, and we're gonna do some things. I want to show you guys something that not many people have seen, and this is the hero indicator. And as the day wore on today, you can see as the day wore on, we were selling down, and the hero indicator was actually going up. And this is an indicator that's showing us that the hedging is coming off the market, that this market's going to spring up at some point, and that we have to have our eyes open for the companies that are being bid on right now. And so earlier today, I posted a few of those plays. I showed you that there were bids put into some of the financial companies. I showed you that Toyota got a bid. I show you that, I forget some of them now, but earlier in the day. And that's what we're looking for from this period into December. Because this is when banks, like quad witching and a quarterly, when a quarter comes to an end, it's just like growing vegetables. If you have 3 or 4 seasons, you're going to grow something quick in the springtime like radishes. Then you're going to move on to something in the summertime that takes a little bit longer. And then you're going to look for some kind of a fall vegetable to grow. And that's what hedge funds do. They're deleveraging their positions. They've held the market up, which shows us that they're not ready to dump it, that it's manipulated. And then we also have the hedge coming off. We didn't see new hedging coming on. We know this for a fact. We saw a little bit of hedging in IWM, but we're still looking for more buying. And what's the investment for 2022? Now, if we don't see that expansion of calls with later dates into 2022 as of the 31st of December, we can all put our bear caps on. But if we do see it, which it did happen today, we had a put call ratio of 1.6. So we know people were buying the market. It just wasn't at the rate that we needed to be at right now, okay? But that hero indicator is showing you that what bears are talking about right now is not actually the truth. And I guess, I didn't read it yet, but I guess one of those guys on Twitter, I forget, Zero Hedge, was talking about spot gamma. They're misinterpreting what spot gamma is saying about this market right now, about the swings, the not reverb, but the wild swings that the market should continue to take until we shake things out. We already talked about this. You guys and I have already talked about this extensively. That is not happening right now. The market is actually stabilizing. And another thing I want to show you here is this. You see this? You see this lower? See this right here? This is back on the 14th, right? So what is this in cash market, right? This is a lower low, right? But then we have a lower high right here. And what do we have today? Another lower low, right? So you got to start looking at that stuff. We have a higher high here, and this technically is cash market here at 6:55 in the morning. I would have preferred it to be in the actual options trading, but none of this here says that we're bearish. So if you're one of those guys that are like, oh, the swing low, the swing high, nothing here says that we are bearish, even though it seems to you guys, and I know a lot of you guys out there, you guys are thinking that. I drew this chart earlier to look for this goofy diamond top that everybody's talking about. I still don't see it. We still made a higher high today, so this is garbage right here. I mean, this is complete garbage, right? But people are talking about this. Then you've got people talking about we got Wyckoff stuff going on. We got people telling you it's the Elliott wave. We're in the final days of the Elliott wave. It's all bullshit. The only thing that matters in this market at all times is volume, price, time, volatility. Those kind of things. That's all that matters when you're an investor, when you're a trader. I've seen so many times out there where Elliott wave theory guys have to go back and change their stuff. It's not accurate enough on a smaller time frame. They can claim that they get the big moves and that's what really counts. None of that's true. It's all. I've seen it for too many years. I've seen guys lose their shirts. You see those guys. It's just nonsense. And we can trade this down into 2022. There's no big deal. They can say I was right, but they're never right when they make their trades, when they make their investments, when they find their swings. You know that they didn't think this move was taking place this week. This doesn't fit that model. They just don't fit the models. They end up adding an extra number or letter. And I'm sorry, guys, if you guys know this stuff, then I'm sorry. It doesn't work as a trader or as an investor. I've done it before. I've tried it. And then you've got the bastardization of Elliott wave by so many years have gone by, and then some people are calling themselves purists and they're not. Whatever. So I'm sorry. The numbers do not agree with this taking place as we move forward. Nothing about where we are agrees with this. This actually looks to me like heading straight. And I posted about this. When you guys start looking at the rebalancing of the trade from 2020, it's a big job to do. These banks have tons of work to do to end this trade that started 2 years ago. They've done a great job at it, to be in all honesty, because bears have said when this trade ends that the market crashes. Like it was an immediate thing that was going to take place. Immediately stocks are going to start selling off. Immediately the unwind was going to happen and everything was going to crash. And that just hasn't happened. And I really don't care if we trade down. We're still making higher highs. We got one here. We got one here. I don't think we made this one, but we did make this one right here, right? This wasn't expected. Bears will tell you that this wasn't expected. So it's all bullshit. When you hear this stuff from people, it's horseshit. You had a mean revision today, a reversion in the market. The Hero indicator went up today. Those are important data points that you have to consider as we move forward. Does that mean we get weak into the next few days? I don't know. Does that mean that we're weak tomorrow? I don't know. If the market catches a bit, I want to show you something else too that's important. Let's take one of these shit stocks up. Let's look at what shit stocks sold off today. Did pins sell off today? I'm going to show you some other stuff. I'm going to show you the charts I did for you yesterday. Let's look at pins, okay? On a 1 year. Let's look at pins, okay? So when I talked to you guys about a hedge wall, right? Right, this hedge wall keeps moving down, right? When you see a hedge wall come down like this, it's all fine and dandy unless liquidity comes in the market. The moment that liquidity comes into the market, right, this creates a squeeze type situation. And I'm not saying that pins is there. I don't think their hedge wall is this low. I think it's higher now. I think it's like up here. But I'll look at, I haven't looked yet to do the research, but a lot of stocks right now that have sold off have hedge walls that are so low. And that is part of what took place here. When there was a Tesla move that took place recently that where I said, hey, we are in squeeze conditions on Tesla. And we wound up squeezing. And these hedge funds knew that we were in squeeze conditions and knew the danger of liquidity coming in. And to be honest with you, as the days pass, if liquidity comes into this market like it did yesterday, it's going to be the same situation. We're just going to start vanna squeezing up and up and up and up. This doesn't end well for bears or for anyone that has this short thesis the moment liquidity hits. We've already seen how it happens. We've already seen it. We'll see it happen and continue to happen in the future if we start to see expanded call buying into the first of the year. So I'm not listening to any of this garbage and bullshit that any of these people are talking about. And we sold the open today, and my job was to buy for this upcoming year. And most hedge funds today were working on buying and selling some of their positions to get out from underneath to get out with profit today, and to close out some of their shorts that they had heading into today. So none of this is shocking to me. The only panic I had this morning or this afternoon at the close was the moment when we got real low inside the market, and you can see that furthermore inside of this. And we zoned all this out today. If you look at last night, if you look at S&P 500 from last night, this is how high we went on the ES. I mean, look at this. What did you expect to happen? Let me ask any of you guys out there. What do you expect to happen when we put this channel above us heading into this morning? I mean, did anybody really think, you know what I did? I took the money and I ran this morning. And if any of you didn't take the money and run this morning, right here, that's just, I mean, all it is I didn't know. You're right. That's all it means. I didn't know. Maybe you know what I should do is start sharing these charts with you guys. I'm gonna get these charts to you. Even if you have the free software, they're 15-minute delay, but you can actually see us. You could have seen this morning and known to sell your open. I haven't changed anything from the video yesterday. There's nobody beat us yesterday. Nobody beat a bull yesterday. We won. We got this close. And one more thing, I want to take you back to this Webull real quick, okay? I'm gonna show you something on the SPY. Okay, this is insane. I can't believe you got bears out here telling you that everything is burning and dying or whatever. Let me show you something else over here, okay? This is important. So the reason why I held this into yesterday, okay, or into the today, was because you can see we had this move up, right? And this is where the volatility is. We were low enough on this dip yesterday. This was the dip buy right before close. You can see it right here, right? We tagged it. We bounced off it. We had plenty of room to move to volatility in the overnight. That's why I had the expectation it would be green, and we were green. And we profited even off the open, we profited, right? Now, when you come into this close down here in volatility on the downside, right, you're bouncing right here. There's not a lot of a room for you to sell this market down into tomorrow morning. So if I'm a bull and we're right here, I'd take that long into close. I know that resistance is above. If I'm a bear and I'm taking this down here, right? Let's say we closed right here today. I would have taken the short down into here, into this open tomorrow. All day long I would have taken that short. But you guys want to be buying puts down here at volatility? You're insane. You're insane. And if anybody's telling you that they're doing that, I don't believe them. I don't believe them because I know for a fact that this play might work 3 times out of 10. 1 time out of 10. So I just don't buy it. I don't believe it. I think it's bullshit. I'm calling you out. That's what you do, Brad. You take profit. You have to take profit. You have to know when to let the banks do it for you. If you want to get short down here, you're a bear and you want to get short down here, you have to wait until we get below this level here, right? Bounce off, upside down, just like a bull, and then take this down. You can't just be, and if any of you bulls lost money over here today, you're doing the same thing that bears do when they lose all their money, okay? So these are almost perfect trades down here. Almost perfect trades. And look at this from a bear's perspective. We came below this volatility, and I went long here because I knew you're not supposed to be down here. And that same thing goes. If we dip down here tomorrow morning, I'll buy 0 dates tomorrow, right off the bell if we dip down here, without even a blink of the eye. I'll buy the 6-cent ones the moment we dip below down here tomorrow. In a moment, and you should too. If in any moment we're down below this 46 or 46.40, 46.50, we're below 46.50 tomorrow at open, you buy it all day long. You just throw a kitchen sink at it. That's what you do. Even if it's for just 1 day, that's what you do. There's just no way. Unless there's something we don't know, which is possible, but I'll throw penny options at that all day long, I'll take that bet all day long. All day long. Period. End of story. Unless it's something we don't know at this point. Now let's go back to the charts that we did. I want to show you the other chart. Last night we talked about NQ, right? And I said to you, wow, this is kind of surprising. I'm like, the tightness of NQ that we had yesterday, right? We knew that we had volatility below. I told you yesterday how deep NQ could go and that it was improbable that it would happen. And it didn't happen. And then I told you more than likely we'll shoot up here and bang right off it yesterday. And that's what we did. We did it before we even opened. We banged down, and what do we find? Shockingly, support. So nothing's changed since yesterday's video. Nothing's sold off since yesterday's video at NQ. It's just tightening. You've got a volatility put in hedge wall that's squeezing NQ. And I talked to you about that. We have to find a bid in the market. You should expect at this point to be finding beaten down tech stocks to catch a bid between now, yesterday, and the 31st. If they catch a bid between now and the 31st, the move up is to 17,000 without a blink of an eye. Absolutely without a blink of an eye. And I would all day long rather be taking this long than be way up here at 1,700 talking about going to 17,000 and taking it to 18,000. If anything, I would be saying the exact opposite to you. I'd be saying we're at 17,000. There's no way we're going to 18,000, and the risk is on the downside. Right now, this is not proving risk in this market. I would have to see a cascade of sellers, a cascade of not just puts, but put hedging, like a full-on waterfall. You'll just see SPY puts just pouring down non-stop all day long. Do I care about $6 million SPX puts being sold? Yeah, no, I think it's all positive. Everything right now is pointing towards positive. Okay? So now let's look at IWM, because I keep hearing this chatter. You guys consume the wrong stuff. If at some point you got to put your blinders on with what people are telling you and feeding you. They get their information from banks. These banks launch these operations. They don't want you to buy. And this is to further my point, okay? I talked to you about this. I talked to you about the Russell yesterday. I told you we wouldn't break this yesterday. We didn't break it today. The reason we didn't break it today is because if they break this level down here, the next stop is far. I mean, I don't even know if it's on here anymore. I think it's 208 or something. But you got to look. Let's look at this let's look at where we are, and let's look at where we're going, okay? How deep we're going if we sell this wall down here. We're talking about 220, 202, 208, 206. I mean, how deep are we going? Are we going down to, what, 1930 down here? If we start heading down there, right, I guarantee you that the rest of the market falls with it. And then you're like, well, we're right on this edge. This is like saying that we're up here at 2467 and we're going to 3,000 this week or next week. When a FOMO bull tells me we're going to 3,000 this week, I think they're smoking crack. They're smoking crack. That's the same thing that a bull's telling you down here. I mean, a bear is telling you that. That's what a bear's telling you right here, is the same thing that a bull's telling you up here, that we're going to 3,000 this week. So I don't know. I have a hard time with it. Is it possible we trade down here? Sure, it's possible. Is there a high chance that we trade down here tomorrow into OPEX? I'm doubting it. Maybe for a brief moment. Do I think the whole market's selling off tomorrow because some guy some guy out there is peddling some bullshit on a social media network? Nothing says that that's happening. Zero. You know what kind of selling in here, in this consolidation, you would need to have? It would be like, it would be insano. Pure insanity. Sorry, Amazon had a huge dark pool a few days ago. All day long, but yeah, I'm serious. Like, so what did I do this morning? You guys want to know what I did? Or this morning, we sold down to the first level. I started buying spreads. We sold down. I started averaging down my spreads. We sold down some more. I started buying stocks. I bought SPY calls expiring in the 31st. I'm going to sell them before the 31st. But and I was scared. Of course I'm scared. It doesn't mean you're not scared in this market when you get down to these levels. If you're a bear and you had puts right here and you see us go up to 2460, of course you're scared. So what's the difference between that? What's the difference between a bear up here and a bull down here? Bull down here is you have to know your levels. You have to know where the sellers are. You have to know where the buyers are. You have to know where the walls are. You have to know what the risk is. And I'm always talking about that with you guys. You got not this isn't all of you, but a lot of traders, they're constantly buying tops, they're constantly selling bottoms, constantly. And I know that your brain is, and my brain is wired the same way. I get fearful. Not always, but at these levels I get fearful. At these levels, bears get fearful. They do. When they enter the position too early or something, they get fearful. You start wondering, did I buy too early? Did I buy puts too early over here? Am I going to get stopped out on their way north? Are they heading to 3,000? And you start hearing that Kool-Aid from the FOMO crowd up here, and you're hearing the Kool-Aid from the FOMO crowd down here, right? And so for the bull or the bear, they're drinking it. They got like the gallon jugs out. So when you come to me and you start talking to me, commenting and saying that stuff, I think that you're buying the wrong side of the market every time. I'd buy this every time. I'd buy this every time. I'd buy this every. Go short here every time. I go short. I go long here every time. I go short here every time. Go long here every time. How many times has it worked? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Another what? 9 times above. And you're gonna tell me this one time, even if we sell the market down, we have a market crash tomorrow, that I care? I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that mostly. It just doesn't. It doesn't work like that in the S&P. It happens every once in a while. Do I think that the S&P can go to its 200? Sure. Do I think we're due for the 200? Sure. Do I think that it's tomorrow during OPEX? I doubt it highly. Do I think they're going to come and Christmas is going to happen and some guy that's running a pension plan or something's going to call everybody up and say, yeah, we burned the stock market down, Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa? No. I'm sorry, no. The answer is no. So I shouldn't have loaded up on SPY 1217 500 calls today. Shit. So am I fired up right now? You guys all listening to my rant tonight? I'm in a rantful mood today because I know some of you guys are getting fed constantly. I know you guys get fed on tops. I know you guys get fed on bottoms. I know it's never ending. And so what did we look for today? What was I looking for today? Look at this into the close. You want to see the close? This is equity blocks and dark pool prints. You want to see where the liquidity came in? 355. See that liquidity? These are all signature prints on the SPY. They were buying while you were selling. They were peddling a news operation to you saying that the market was going to crash. That's what they were doing. You know what they were doing? They were getting bag holders that are bears, and they were getting bulls to sell out so they can get positioned so they can take all of your money. Didn't matter what you are. Bear, bull, doesn't matter. That's what they were doing. Okay? You saw a call flow up here on your right-hand side, 414. This put flow was low this morning. It did raise up through the end of the day, but it was all short-dated stuff. You're talking 1220, 1231, 1217. This is all small-time stuff. Nothing long-lasting. Nothing. You see a little bit of PayPal in here, 121, right? 700,000. This is someone that's trying to protect their short right now. They want it deeper. It's not big enough. It's not enough. You need to see more. When you're looking at, I'm going to show you some other stuff. Right now, you're trying to identify the companies that the banks are going in long. And the reason is because you need to jump on their back and follow them into 2022. So you're like, okay, what are people doing? Right? I want to short snow, right? How do you think we continue to short snow? I mean, look at this, 2:01 in the afternoon. That's what you're trying to tell me? As a bear, you're trying to tell me that? Snow holds up part of the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. You're trying to tell me they're going to drop the market tomorrow? My answer to you is no. Okay? They propped up IWM today. You saw $2 million, 4:03 p.m., 12:31. Who was that? Was that Davey Day Trader that you know on Twitter or on YouTube? I mean, get out of here. Seriously, get out of here. It's a joke. It's a joke. That's what I'm trying to say to you. You see MA over here, MasterCard, $71,000. Some smart guy bought it. Other than that, we have a $5.6 million call for January 21st. Are we weak after January into February, March? Every single year. So you got banks buying to prop up specific stocks as we head into the new year. We're trying to identify those stocks as the market's selling off. Do we want to identify MasterCard as the market's going up? No, you got a gift today. We ripped the market up yesterday, and today we sold it down to a gorgeous level to go long on specific stocks. You just have to calm down, find out what the banks are going long in on a down day, and get with them when they're at the bottom of that stock that's going to go up into January. You guys understand all this? I'm sorry, I'm on fire right now. Then you got Marriott, 617, beautiful. You could roll on this thing. You could roll this out to you instead of even buying this. You could go to August, right? August 17th or something. You could buy it more in the money than what this guy bought. $5.1 million. You're going to ride on some big bank that bet $5 million. I'll ride all day long with any hedge fund that spends $5 million on a call. I will, all day long. And if they have to roll their call out deep or later, I'm already there and I'm already more deeper in the money. So if they kick in another $5 million because they started losing money, I'm up $10 million right now on my call. Does that make sense to any of you out there? I hope so. NVIDIA was okay, not great. But you're really trying to target like single prints, small prints, 3.1 million Tesla, right? EXPE. You're telling me that EXPE, right, has a $2.6 million June 17th call on it. EXPE. You tell me they're going to sell EXPE down right now? I don't think so. They might try to. We might sell the market. We might have market conditions, something on the outside, but some bank, some guy smarter than you and I as day trader knows where they're going long into 2022. So when I post this stuff to you guys out there, it's for a reason. We're trying to do our best as just man on the street, Joe on the street, Jim on the street, Bob on the street, mechanic from Minnesota, some guy that's schlepping at a shopping center. And meanwhile, you guys are listening to all this doom and gloom out there instead of drilling down and finding out where the money's going into 2022. Okay, so we're going to move on. We got some more. We got some more for you, okay? You got 3 trades on AMD for $2.7 million. You're telling me they're selling out of AMD? I doubt it. You got one order right here for Tech, $1.5 million. 2/18, February 18th. Who in their right mind is buying Tech for $1.5 million? And the last week of we don't even have a full week this week. We have 1 half week next week. And you got OPEX, you got quad witching, and you got some guys, just some randos allowed to go buy $1.5 million in Tech? Come on now. You guys are killing me out there. Sorry. Sorry. I'm yelling, huh? I'll be quiet. Sorry, T-Crone. They're all upstairs. Believe it or not, they're eating. They didn't go to bed tonight or bed because we were all out and doing our thing. I'll calm down. Okay? I'll calm down. You've got Roblox, right? We talked about Roblox today. You got a 100 call, 12/31, right? $790,000. It bounced twice today. I'll follow that guy. I might make it safer, might make it a spread, an in the money spread. I might date it a little bit longer, but I want to follow that guy. I do. I don't know what you guys want to do, but I want to follow that guy. You got another guy in Backs over here. What's that, an $82 stock? Threw down $500,000. I'll follow that guy. You guys get what I'm saying? You guys get what I'm saying, right? So this is going to continue into the new year. And you're going to find these stocks on down days. And you're going to do your own due diligence and find out if you want to take the risk on that company and how much you put into them. You find out how you navigate from now into springtime, or at least into January. And then you wait for your favorite stocks to hit bottoms. I charted some out for you yesterday. I charted out Tesla. I told you there will be buyers at 900. I told you that I'll be a buyer at 750. I told you that that's where I want to buy it. You have to figure out where you want to buy it, where you feel comfortable being a bag holder. If we sell down to 750, I'll be comfortable all day long being a bag holder in Tesla. And you should be feeling the same way when you're investing in companies out there. Do you understand? So that if you have a bad day in the market, you look back at everybody else and say, well, I had a great day today. I have a great day. I own Tesla at 750. I don't care what the market's doing. You guys get what I'm saying? All right, boys. 66. Well, it sounds like 10 bears logged off and said, I don't like you. And if you're any bears that's still out there, you should keep listening to me because I'm a bear sometimes. I go bear all the time. Okay? And if you're an investor, you should be looking for red days. You should never be buying on green days. Always on red days. Always, always, always. For a trend change. Yeah, you got to look at all that other stuff. I mean, there are other things that you need to be looking at. We talk about those things. So I talked to Joe Donut out there, and he explained to me that I need to start making these short videos that just explain basic trading concepts, right? For when you roll contracts over, when you add to your contracts, when you close them for a loss and move on if there's a trend change. I got to start making those videos for you guys. I'm going to start pumping them out. I'll put them in their own little folder on YouTube so you can go through and just start hammering yourselves with basic concepts. It is not difficult to trade. We make it difficult to trade. There are some basic concepts you need to know, some basic news events you need to know. You need to know some basic numbers of where the volatility is. You need to know when you put risk on and when you don't put risk on. And if you guys are getting scared, turn off the news and turn off social media when you make your trades. Seriously. At least know where you want to buy. That's what the banks do. The banks know when they want to buy and they know when they want to sell. They know when they want to take their profit. They're cold-hearted about it. I expect you guys to be the same way to an extent. And that's why I got on the live stream earlier today, was because, you know, in that last 15, 20 minutes, it was like all hell breaking loose for a lot of you out there. Even some of you bears, I was hoping that you guys would close your positions. And we might sell down tomorrow morning. You might have won tomorrow morning. But I'll promise you, if you follow me and you're a bear, I promise you, you'll make more money closing those positions all day long, and you will stay alive in this market than if you carry through with those plays. Okay. Same thing goes for you bulls out there. You guys got this? You guys understand? You guys with me? Sorry to get all fired up. I've been thinking about this. I'm at the gym. I'm like, oh man, I'm thinking about this shit. And then I see the hero indicator, and then I see that there wasn't massive hedge waterfall. Now, here's the thing too. Let's say we do see massive hedging waterfall come in tomorrow. Let's say we see it on Monday. We see it on Friday, right? There are other people out there with millions in this market. And there's usually a chance to un-F yourself in this market if you are starting to take legitimate longs into next year or into January or whatever, okay? So what do? You have a plan, right? You can either buy, if you guys really think that the market's going to crash, buy yourself out some 6-month or 1-year puts that cost 10 cents. Buy a stack of them. Buy a quarter's worth. Buy it from now into the end of February. Buy yourself 10-cent puts on a high, like yesterday. Buy it at open tomorrow. I don't care. Just buy them for 10 cents. Buy a rack of them. But if you only have $500 to trade with, buy $10 worth of them. Buy yourself $100 worth of them. Do whatever you need to do so that you're not panicking and you're not losing if you're really that fearful. If you really believe these bears out there, then that's what you should be doing if you're going to keep going long. Okay? All right, ladies and gentlemen. I got to let you go for tonight. I want to talk to you about something, okay? I'm going to bring you back briefly. I want you to focus on something as the days move forward, okay? The SPY is the healthiest of all 3 indexes, okay? There's a small pin on IWM. I still don't think IWM crashes unless we get that cascade of puts and hedging. If IWM goes down, it will take the rest of the market with it. There should be expansion in volatility. That means the walls, not the put wall, but the call wall. As the days move forward, the call wall is going to go up more and more and more. The volatility needs to be up. So you know, for us to have a Christmas rally, we need some volatility so we can sell it down. And the volatility is expanding. The markets don't always dump when volatility expands. So if we see volatility rise from now into Monday or Friday, that's a good thing because that fuels a rally into the end of the year. So you can look at the volatility. You want the volatility high. We're not selling down anywhere significant right now. So you want the expansion in volatility. You want us at bottom to make that run up to the end of the year. So all these things are in place. You should be looking for companies that are heavily hedged as we roll forward into the beginning of the year. You should be looking for these companies, public companies, to have traded down for a year, have traded down since February, have been sold down, like great tech stocks like AMD have been sold down. They might have a little bit more to go. Amazon, last night we talked about where I wanted to be a buyer in it. It was much lower, and it did go lower today. You're going to be looking for me to be posting big calls, $1 million, $5 million, $6 million. That's where they're backdooring their bets for the springtime, okay, and certain beyond into June, all right? You have to remember that we have earnings coming out in springtime. Regardless, if you've had great earnings the past 2-3 quarters and you're heading into this springtime, bears will panic because of two reasons. If a company comes out with great earnings, it's good for the S&P. We expect 13%. That means it's probably higher in next year. No one said less than 13% for this year. So even just the premium and the options interest leading into February on big tech names is going to garner interest in those options, okay? So when you're buying lows right now and some calls for June or July or for February, some guy's going to want to buy those calls on these big tech names when we get into those months. You'll see the stock go down and the interest in those options go up. You'll look back on this time and say, hey, I should have bought, even if the market's selling down, I should have bought this call because there'll be interest in them. And you can put less risk on. You can buy them more in the money. You can buy them way in the money, right? And then just wait until we get to summer for the premium if the market goes down to pay you back, at least so you break even. Think about these things as we move forward. Tomorrow, what do I expect tomorrow? I expect a tight range tomorrow. I don't think that we might shoot up a little bit as people unhedge into the close. There might be quick spikes down. There might be option killing tomorrow on options that are ending on tomorrow. So spreads are your friend. If we get low, if we dip down below here, I'm buying this low. I'll buy this with FDs myself. It's dangerous. But let's say we sell down here briefly tomorrow. I'm buying because I know when Monday comes, I know when next week comes that the volatility goes away. OPEX is gone. I know that we're gonna. Well, from right now, it looks like we're going up. Okay, and the only way I'm gonna get myself out of those positions, or sell out of these positions I bought today, is if I see that huge wall of hedging coming in. Like I need a wall of it. I need a big, big, fat wall. All right. So my answer is no right now. My answer is no. We're not selling the market until I see it actually start to happen. You guys got me? You guys got me? You don't. You guys don't realize how many shorts we actually have. You have no idea. We don't need any more shorts. You guys have no idea how short dated the shorts we have, or short dated the puts we have are that we have on there. You have no idea that how many we have falling off. It is massive, massive. If we don't see a wall, not a wall, but a cascade of puts coming into the market in the next few days, leading into tomorrow and the 31st, watch out. Watch out if you're a bear. I'm telling you, watch out. And if you see a bid come in at the same time that happens, if you see that last moment where you're in the most pain as a bull, and at the last moment you're feeling the most, euphoria you can as a bear, and all of a sudden you see liquidity jump up, at any point, it's going to be nasty. Okay? I'm going to leave you with that. I hope you guys have a great day tomorrow. I want you to stay safe when you're trading tomorrow. It's OPEX. You'll see some really weird stuff happen. You'll see stocks like, in the past, I've seen Tesla give up. I've seen Tesla on an OPEX give up, I think, 150 points. The last 15 minutes, we thought it was going up. It was already down, and it went down another 150 points. Or no, it was like 130 points, and then it came up 90 or 100 points. These are option killers. These are to shake out bulls and bears. So I want you to be careful as we head into tomorrow. There'll be a lot of weird action in the market. Being a quad witching, there should be weird action in the market because we're wrapping up that COVID trade. You might see things that look really nasty. You might not have the time to go short, to get out of that short before the option interest change, or the price of an option changes. You might chase something that you shouldn't be chasing. I have myself personally gotten burned heavily. You can sometimes pick a stock, but it's pure gambling. If you're like, I'm going to pick this stock to go up tomorrow, it's pure. It's worse. It's like throwing a dart at a wall 30 feet away with a 6-inch piece of paper. So the best thing to be doing on a day like tomorrow is look for the stocks that are getting bids. I'll post that stuff on Twitter for you. You have to do your own due diligence. I can't tell you what to buy and not buy. You guys are all ultimately responsible for your own monies. Whenever we get like this, or things are volatile like this, and if you are putting on too much risk and you're upside down or can't unmess yourself up, then you're taking on the wrong risk or too much risk, okay? When we are in low volatility environments, when we are in a low volatility environment, I'll always tell you when those moments are. We tend to move slowly in one direction, typically up. Okay? It just stopped me out of my ES long. LOL. Took 3 points profit. Wow, big sell sweep. Just hit the tape. No worry. Thanks. No. So at least, so you see this guy, Sum, he's got what's called a stop loss when he trades. Most futures traders are very good at stop losses. Sometimes stop losses are fishing expeditions. Other times it's because the market is heading lower or there's big sell orders. But I wouldn't be too concerned. You should see some erratic action in the markets between now and the end of day on Friday, tomorrow, okay? But that is in no way indicative of what's happening in the market as we head into close tomorrow. It's a quad witching OPEX. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I would just stay behind, wait until you find your stock that you're looking for, or wait till you find where you feel comfortable buying the SPY or selling the SPY or whatever product you're trading. If you're like, hey, I'm a mega bear, I'd be waiting to grab some of it up here. If you're mega bear, you think the market's going to crash? What do you want to buy it here? I want to be a mega bear, and I want to buy it somewhere up in here tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? If you're a mega bull, you want to be buying it down here. If we can slip down in here, I'll buy this all day long. Does that make sense? So if you've got your own convictions of where you think we're going, right, make sure you get the good buy-in. Get what I'm saying? Good stop loss strategies. I do. Every day I give them to you guys. So like right here was the stop loss. Right here. This is volatility. This is a stop loss zone. The one from the yesterday was right here. Right here. On the other charts, I show you guys these same things. So let's look at the 5-day on this, right? You break below this, you sell the world. We tagged we tagged IWM. This, if you go back and look at my RTY chart from yesterday, never moved this line. 2138. You guys remember me saying 2138 yesterday? 2138. I told you yesterday, 2138. We ain't going below that. I guarantee it. And we didn't. We ricocheted right off it. Got me? All right, guys. I love y'all. Sorry, this is old Army stuff, right? So look, I love all you guys. I want you guys, women out there, men, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you are. Just try to help you guys to not lose your money, to trade what's inside the volatility, inside the support and resistance zones, also known as volatility zones, where you got support, resistance. I want you guys to learn how to identify where they actually are. I want you guys to know when you can take a trade safely within that area, right, and feel confident in your trades. And then we'll teach you how to put the correct risk on when you do take these trades, because sometimes these do fail. You know, you'll see some of these fail, but if you were a bear and you took this trade, this is where the call wall is up here. You could take this with relative safety all the way down. Same thing goes for the bulls, okay? And these zones move every day. They move every week. Right now, we're pretty safe with where we are. We have some expansion. Upwards, believe it or not. I know you guys don't believe that, but that's true. And our wall is the same as it was yesterday. And I will have some updated numbers for you before the open tomorrow. And if you want to adjust where these lines are, you can do that you can surely do that on your own time before the open tomorrow. But these are pretty good. Night night, everybody. You guys have a great night. I'll catch you in the morning. Sleep tight. You know, we'll know if we're selling out. One last thing I want to leave you guys with. If we're selling this market, like if we are liquidating, I will be the first to let you know tomorrow, okay? I'm watching it like a hawk. Even with that sell down yesterday, we weren't liquidating. That's puts. If we start liquidating, you will get a warning sign, or you'll get you'll get a post from me that says warning. That's different than us selling down. Warning is we're liquidating, okay? Have a great night, guys. Catch it all tomorrow.